Picture this. A woman pulls into a Whole Foods lot driving a 2014 Toyota Camry with a small dent on the bumper. She's wearing a plain gray t-shirt, worn-out jeans, and sneakers that look like they've survived a small war. She grabs a reusable tote from the trunk, walks inside, and pays for groceries with a debit card. That account holds more money than your entire family tree has ever touched. She's worth $8 million. She's doing the exact same thing your broke cousin does every Saturday. Except she's closing on a rental property soon. Same habit, wildly different outcomes. Today's goal is showing you the one broke habit the upper class secretly loves. The habit people online roast as cheap, even though it quietly outpaces 99% of the population completely. Once you understand this pattern, you'll start noticing it everywhere, and you'll never look at money the same way again. Here's the truth. The wealthiest people are doing things that look the most broke on the surface today. They drive used cars, pack lunches, and wear the same 4 outfits in rotation like cartoon characters. They skip brunch and shop at Costco like it's a religious pilgrimage, every single weekend without fail. Meanwhile, broke people finance luxury cars on modest salaries, order delivery constantly, and post treat-yourself stories from rooftop bars. This isn't about roasting anyone. We've all been that person chasing the appearance instead of the actual wealth. But there's a quiet habit, the wealthy practice, that the rest of the world has been trained to mock. It's the single biggest thing separating people who build wealth from people who only chase its appearance. The habit itself, strategic cheapness on things nobody sees, paired with aggressive spending on things that compound. Wealthy women are unapologetically cheap on invisible expenses, and they spend heavily on investments that grow over decades. The upper class doesn't care about looking rich. That's a poor person's game they refuse to play. They care about being rich, which means making boring, almost embarrassing decisions about money in public constantly. Driving a 9-year-old Honda, eating leftovers 3 nights straight, refusing to upgrade a phone that still works fine. Every dollar not spent on garbage is a dollar, working for you over the next 40 years quietly. Let's put this in real numbers, because most finance content throws around vague ideas without ever showing math. Say you're 25, and instead of leasing a car for $650 monthly, you buy used, a $12,000 Toyota driven for $10,000. Yours saves roughly $500 monthly compared to leasing new. That's $6,000 yearly invested into an S&P 500 index fund earning about 8% annually. By age 65, that single decision about a car turns into approximately $1.5 million. That's why your boss drives a Camry. She's not cheap. She's simply running the numbers correctly every time. She looked at the luxury option, did the math, laughed, and walked straight to the Toyota dealership instead. Meanwhile, the woman in the next cubicle leases a luxury sedan and posts it, captioned "Manifested online proudly." She didn't manifest that. She signed a 36-month contract quietly eating away at her future retirement savings. The wealthy learned long ago that money respects people who treat it with genuine financial respect always. Spending $80,000 on a depreciating box that loses 20% value instantly isn't respect at all. That's hostage negotiation. That's paying ransom to your own ego instead of building real, lasting wealth. Now, you might think cars are the obvious example, but what else are the wealthy doing differently daily? Great question, because the next habit happens in your kitchen, and it's costing you more than you realize. They eat like peasants on purpose. The top habit wealthy women embrace is simply cooking their own food. Groundbreaking, I know, but the numbers here are genuinely insane once you actually sit down and calculate them. The average American spends about $3,600 yearly on takeout, with younger adults spending far more often. Some people spend close to $7,000 yearly on delivery apps and I deserve this lunch runs. Meanwhile, wealthy women shop at Costco, buy chicken in bulk, cook on Sundays, and eat the same meals weekly. They're proudly filming meal prep on social media now because, honestly, batch cooking really is the ultimate flex. This isn't about never going out. It's about recognizing a $22 sad salad isn't really lunch anymore. It's a luxury tax on convenience. That same salad costs about $4 to make it home instead. The other $18 is pure convenience pricing. And doing that 250 times yearly keeps you broke. Wealthy women afford nice things because they're brutally efficient with the boring, unglamorous parts of money management. They cook, batch, plan ahead, and laugh at $15 bowls. Not because they can't afford them, but by choice. Being a difficult customer is a wealth habit. Being an easy, tap-to-pay customer is a poverty habit entirely. Every delivery app notification is a polite invitation to stay broke. And the apps absolutely know this well. We've covered cars and eating habits. The next habit is one your friends will judge you hardest for doing. And it's the one habit that quietly funds every other decision in a wealthy woman's entire financial life. They say no to plans like it's an Olympic sport. Wealthy women are famously boring on Friday nights. That's not a joke. That's a deliberate strategy. Most people never consciously choose to adopt for themselves. Most money isn't lost in market crashes. It disappears in $40 bottomless mimosas and $90 Uber rides home, $300 weekend trips to cities you don't even like, and one drink that becomes a $180 tab. Your social life is the most expensive subscription you've ever signed up for, and nobody talks about it. This isn't about skipping friends or fun entirely. But wealthy women are more likely to leave parties early. They've done the math. A $400 weekend in Miami actually costs $5,600 long-term. Every dollar spent carelessly in your 20s is roughly $5 stolen from your future 40s self. Compound interest is a magic trick working in both directions, for you or quietly against you forever. One woman started saying no to half her usual social plans, and 2 years later had $50,000 invested. The same friends who once called her cheap are now texting her asking how to start. A Roth IRA, FOMO is a tax. Saying yes to things you didn't want costs a fee just to seem cool. Being cool is the most expensive identity in America. The real flex isn't going out, it's the bank account. But wealthy women don't just say no to bad spending. They've got a sneaky move for good spending too. They buy used stuff like it's a personality trait, and it genuinely breaks people's brains when they realize it. Used cars, used furniture from Marketplace, used appliances, used designer clothes, used books, used almost everything possible. New is a marketing tax. You're not paying for quality. You're paying for the smell and the box. You're paying to be first owner of something that loses 30%. Value the moment you swipe your card. A new couch from a fancy store costs $2,400 brand new off the showroom floor. The same couch, 2 years old on Marketplace because someone's moving, costs around $300 total. Same fabric, same comfort. And nobody visiting your apartment can actually tell the difference between the two. The upper class roasts the middle class for financing brand new couches, TVS, fridges, and washers constantly. Wealthy women are at a state. Sales buying a $4,000 dining table for $250 instead. Money loves the patient and hates the impatient. Needing something brand new instantly means paying someone else's profit. Wealthy women aren't doing this out of necessity. They genuinely enjoy winning the negotiation and the game itself. They love the story of getting something for a fifth of sticker price, since full price feels like getting scammed. To you, it feels normal. That exact gap is essentially the entire wealth gap between classes today. We've covered cars, food, social life, and shopping. But one habit makes wealthy women look the most broke. It happens loudly, publicly, and most people will judge you harshly for doing it openly at all. They talk about money constantly and obsessively out loud, like total nerds who genuinely love personal finance topics. In our culture, that's considered tacky and rude, since everyone's mother said discussing money is impolite. That advice has kept entire generations of working women poor, quietly, for far too many decades now, while you're staying polite. Wealthy women are at dinners and coffee shops comparing notes on tax strategies. They discuss index fund expense ratios, real estate deals, savings rates, and maxing out retirement accounts openly. Meanwhile, you and your friends discuss reality television at brunch, which honestly is completely fine to sometimes. But notice what's happening. Wealthy women trade information that compounds into millions while others trade forgettable gossip. Then everyone wonders why the wealth gap keeps widening decade after decade without any real explanation given. The biggest free thing you can do today is start money conversations with people smarter than you. Ask questions, sound uninformed. Find one friend or cousin good with money and ask to pick their brain. Most will happily say yes, because wealthy women are basically money nerds who found other money nerds. The taboo around money is the cheapest thing keeping you broke, and breaking it costs absolutely nothing. We've covered cars, food plans, used goods, and money talk, but none matters without the bigger mindset shift. Here's the real habit underneath everything. Wealthy women genuinely don't care what other people think of them. That's the entire secret. They're immune to social pressure in a way that's genuinely shocking to witness. They don't care if you think their car is ugly or their lunch looks sad and unimpressive. They don't care if their friends call them cheap, because those friends aren't paying their bills anyway. Imagine basing financial decisions on opinions from people who are themselves one missed paycheck from disaster. That's like taking swimming lessons from someone who's actively drowning beside you in the deep end. The real flex of the upper class isn't the watch, the car, or the designer bag at all. It's the absolute freedom of not caring what neighbors or old classmates think about her choices anymore. They unlock the cheat code. The moment you stop performing wealth, you can actually start building it. Performing wealth is a full-time job, and it genuinely pays terribly compared to actually building real wealth. Here's your homework. Pick one of the 5 habits covered today. Just one, not all of them. The car, the food, the social life, the used stuff, or the money talk, whichever felt most uncomfortable. That discomfort means it's the one you need most. Commit to it for the next 30 days. Drive the old car one more year. Cook for a week. Skip one weekend out. Buy something used. Have one honest money conversation. Just one habit, 30 days. And watch the math bend in your favor. If this video hit a little too hard, drop a comment with the words "No broke habits" below. Tell me which of the 5 habits you're committing to for the next 30 days starting today. But knowing these habits is only step 1 toward actually building real, lasting financial freedom over time. The real reason most people stay broke involves invisible money rules the upper class never openly shares, why they almost never buy whole life insurance, and why they're obsessed with one specific type of debt. Also, the strange way they think about their first $100,000 that flips the entire game. That's the next video. The invisible money rules the upper class will never openly tell you about. Trust me, after watching this one, you're going to want that next video immediately, so stay tuned.